Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Unity in Naperville. I'm Kitty Benson, the minister here at Unity. So grateful to be here this morning with our band. High is good. Thanks, everybody.
Hi, everybody. Good morning.
Kim-Char, Mark, Kevin. Yeah.
We call them Mark Squared.
Mark Squared. Okay, good to know. Yeah, we have some good music planned for you this morning. Hopefully a message that will inspire you to do your spiritual work. And we also like to spend some time in the quiet today. So I'm hoping that you'll find something just for you. Trust that you've tuned in this morning because the Spirit of God has something to lift your hearts. The question is, will you say yes? So let's just start this morning by opening that heart of ours with some music from Highest Good. What are we singing first?
Centered in the peace of God, yeah. Good morning, everyone. Words should be on the screen. Here we go. Up and down, spinning around. Seems things are changing almost every day. Up and down, spinning around. But I find balance, I find my way. Centered in the peace of God. Centered in the peace of God. Let's sing that again. Up and down, spinning around. Seems things are changing almost every day. Up and down, spinning around. But I find balance, I find my way. Centered in the peace of God. Centered in the peace of God. There's clarity. There is clarity. There is wisdom. There is abundant grace. Centered in the peace of God. Centered in the peace of God. Up and down, spinning around. It seems things are changing almost every day. Up and down, spinning around. But I find balance, I find my way. Centered in the peace of God. Centered in the peace of God. There is clarity, there is wisdom, there is abundant grace. Centered in the peace of God. Yes. Centered in the peace of God. There's clarity. There is clarity, there is wisdom, there is abundant grace. Centered in the peace of God. Here I stand. Centered in the peace of God. Here I remain. Centered in the peace of God. Feel the presence. Centered in the peace of God. Yeah. Oh, good morning, everyone. How are you? Yeah? No, you. Yeah, okay, good. I just want to make sure I could hear you over here. I should hear you all the way on Shore Road. Shore Drive. So, you ready, Kev?
Yeah, ready.
Centered in God. How about swimming in God? I like that.
Stream of good flows through me. Stream of good, how the sweet waters roll. Stream of good stream of good flows through me. Stream of good, how the sweet waters roll. Stream of good flows through me. Stream of good, how the sweet waters roll. It is rushing, it is pouring, it is flowing. It is God, it is good, I am floating. Moving with the water, my source, my supply, my stream of
Love that song, even though I did help with it. Sorry, I guess that was a stupid thing to say. I'll take that back. Hope you like that song. Let's take some time in prayer, shall we? We just take a deep breath with me. As we let that tension flow out of the body, we allow our thoughts to drift down into our heart, where we feel that divine connection to the Christ within. Relaxing and knowing that we are in the flow of God's good. That nothing and no one stands between us and our good. For nothing and no one stands between us and God. We thank you, Spirit, that as we move through our day, our week, and our life, that we can relax, let go, move in the flow of your divine good. We know that this is true, and now we'll let it be. Amen. Let's take a moment to speak our invocation this morning. The words are up here on the screen. If this is the first time that you've spoken these words with us, this is something that we use to remind ourselves about the one presence and power of God in our lives. And as we learn this and embed it in our consciousness and allow it to live in our hearts, we move through our life from a place of oneness with the Spirit of God. Together, there's only one presence and one power in the universe and in my life, the all-loving goodness of God. And so it is. Thank you.
Breathe in.
Ooh, that's good. That so works with our message today. Thank you guys. Beautiful job. Hope you enjoyed that. Breathe in, breathe out. Release, allow. You know, I've been asking you to do that over the last few weeks. We've been looking at an old proverb from Lao Tzu, who was the founder of the Taoist movement and came way before Jesus' time, but he taught a lot of the same things that Jesus taught. One of the things that he taught us up here on the screen, Cindy, can we show that slide? Muddy water, let's back up. There we go. Muddy water, let stand, becomes clear. That's our challenge, muddy water. And we've talked a little bit about what that muddy water is our consciousness. It's how we experience life. That water is designed to be clear. The very heart of God, when God created us with a clear heart, a clear mind. And then things happen. And you've probably been experiencing that for the last few months, if not your entire life, where things happen, get in the way, start to muddy the water. But it's not just the things that are happening, it's actually us churning up that water. So we've been talking for the last week or two about how to let that muddy water stand. And not always an easy thing for the human ego to do, but if we can learn to do it, and that's really part of our journey here, we come in as these beautiful spiritual beings into this human experience. We deal with this ego that's got its many selfish problems. And the goal is to train that ego and allow that Christ nature within us to shine, to clear. You know, when our consciousness is clear and we're looking to spirit, we can make that connection with the Christ mind. We can receive that inner guidance from God. And so last week I talked about 4 different points of view that we can take. Now, Cindy, let's go to that slide where we talked about, first of all, learning how to be still, taking time in prayer and meditation every day, allowing our thoughts to slow down until there's pauses between the thoughts and start living in the pause, because that's when we hear the voice of God. Make time for that quiet time. Be still, know God. As it says in the Old Testament, be still and know that I am God. Knowing God, wow, that's a big job. Probably won't accomplish it completely in our life, in this human experience. But we can try. And 3 things we talked about knowing about God was the omnis, the omnipresence, the omnipotence, the omniscience. Knowing that God's infinite presence and supply is everywhere. Knowing that God's mind, God's wisdom and intelligence is everywhere and within us. Knowing that the very power, the potence of God is love and goodness. Keep our minds on that, and that will help to still that muddy water. We also talked last week about being present to ourselves, paying attention to what's going on within us, checking out what we're thinking in the moment, what we're feeling in the moment. What kind of beliefs we've been holding. Because if we're not aware and consciously choosing our thoughts, our subconscious mind will drive those thoughts 95% of our day. And it's usually being driven by things that happened in the past, and it's often driven by fear. So be present to what's going on with you so that you can make good choices about your thoughts. And we also talked about knowing ourselves. The Greeks said, know thyself, and they weren't kidding, because it's probably one of the most important things that we can do. Understand what we are, who we are, why we're here, what's the motive behind our actions. If we really stop for a minute and pay attention, we'll probably figure out that the things that have us upset, that's churning that muddy water, is because we believe that we are less than, but we forget that we have the power of God within us. So this is a reminder that, yes, I've got a human ego that is a pain in the neck sometimes. And we also have the presence of the Christ within. That is the very life and love and wisdom that will guide us through whatever seems to be churning around us. And today I wanted to head off in a little bit of a different direction here. We're talking about making room and making roads. Making room is about experiencing the divine. We sang about that today. about releasing and allowing to experience the divine within us. And making roads is about expressing the divine. So today is the day we're going to focus on the within of experience, making room for spirit. Because spirit, as infinite as it is, as joyous and loving and creative as it is, it cannot work through us if we have got that consciousness of ours turned up with that muddy thinking that gets in its way. And I wanted us to just kind of hone in on a few things that we do to keep that water churning so that we can recognize it when it happens and let it go. One of the things that we all can probably relate to is when we hold on to things that either are painful or they weren't working for us, but they're in the past, but we still want to talk about them. We still want to feel the energy around it. Or we also, we tend to hold on to things that just aren't working for us anymore, that we've outgrown, and yet it's familiar, so we hold on. So we're dragging this ball and chain behind us, really getting nowhere, and claiming that we're a victim of these circumstances. We're a victim of the past. You know, it might be that someone harmed us in the past or abused us in the past. Maybe you've been cheated in some way or cheated on in some way. But instead of letting that go, we want to talk about it. We want to continue feeling the hurt and bitterness around it. Some of us might be stuck in a dead-end job right now. We don't see ourselves ever moving up any further than where we are. We don't even like what it is that we're doing. But instead of moving on, we hold on because it's all that we know and it's paying our bills. It's safe. That's the kind of experience in life that keeps our consciousness churned up because we're resisting it. It's not serving us, but we're holding on to it. Sometimes we're in a relationship with someone who, when we're with them, all they do is criticize us. They want to change us. They want to tell us what's not working. And the more time that we spend with them, the more time we feel like a loser. And yet, we can't seem to break free of it, because if we break free of it, then we'll have to prove ourselves to someone else who may think that we're a loser. So, the devil you know, safer, right? Stick with what you know. How many of you are studying in college right now and you've put in 2-3 years towards a major and you're starting to realize this is not for me. This is not serving me. This is not fulfilling me. Or you've graduated with your degree and you've headed down that career path and you're realizing the same thing. Not what I thought it was going to be. It's a drudge to me now, but I'm going to hold on because I don't want to look like an idiot and give up after all that study. I don't want to look like a failure. And yet what's going on inside of you? That feeling of resistance, that feeling of weight, of depression, of sadness for your choices. And yet we keep making those choices. All of these examples that I'm giving you are an example of how we choose to stay stuck. We choose to hold on to those feelings of depression and sadness when we could actually be letting go and letting spirit flow. One of the most common things that we do in this neighborhood is we refuse to forgive someone. Sorry. They've hurt us in some way, and they may not even be in our life anymore. But we're going to keep talking about it until they, come forward and grovel at our feet and ask for forgiveness. Or until they pay. We're going to keep churned up until who knows when. We don't really have a clear end game in sight. And the problem with this point of view is that spirit cannot work through us. The Christ cannot guide us in this type of energy. When we're facing an adversary that's either right here in front of us or long gone, it's really not the adversary that is our problem, it's our thoughts about that adversary. And Jesus talked about this in the book of Matthew chapter 5. He said, come to terms quickly with your adversary who's taking you to court. Come to terms quickly with your adversary. You know, that might work literally, but I also want you to think of it this way, that your adversary is truly your adversarial thoughts. We've talked about this before, where it's really our point of view that we're battling against. That's what's holding us back. That's what's getting in our way. We have to let go if we want to free that Spirit of the Christ within us. And here's one of the biggest challenges around this. Move into the idea that the offense never occurred. Did you know that taking offense is actually a choice? That's why some people can do something to someone and it just rolls right off their back. They don't even think twice about it. They just move on. And others, when somebody looks at them cross-eyed, will just lose it. And they'll talk about it for weeks. You are choosing to take an offense, and you can also choose not to. That's up to us. You know, when we think about moving on, we're talking about letting go of this boulder that's sinking. That's the only way that we're going to be able to clear the water of our consciousness and be in touch with that divine presence of the Christ within. Let go and make room for Spirit to flow. Let go of those thoughts of limitation. When you know that you have the Christ within you, let go and trust that that Spirit within you is infinite, it's eternal, it's alive, it's joyous, it's free, and we can be too when we connect with it. It's about remembering that God is our source. We so often hang on to those things that have done us wrong or that feel limiting, believing that they are our only source of good. None of them are. Only God. Only God provides our good. And remembering that everything that our heart desires is possible through the Christ within us that strengthens us. We have to know that, but we can't until we let go of that which we've been holding on to. Here's an affirmation for us to say together up here on the screen. Do we have it, Parker? Let's say this together. I let go of anything that does not look, sound, or feel like God's loving goodness. Besides holding on to things that are holding us down, we're also really good at pushing against things that feel it brings up a feeling of defensiveness, fear, resistance, control, judgment. Can you relate to any of those feelings? And they appear to be outer circumstances. Maybe you've been laid off from your job recently because of COVID-19. And you feel like this layoff, this company that laid you off, is to blame. And so your energy is judgment, your energy is anger, or you're looking at the upcoming election and you're already getting churned up about the results. If my person does not win, then I will be harmed. And so we resist what's happening right now. We want to take control of what's happening right now. We want to judge what's happening right now. How's that feeling? Is it working for you? How many of you have kids who came home with their last report card and had some grades on it that you were not happy about? Or they can't get into the college that they want to go to, or they can't even go to school this fall because of COVID-19, that they're stuck at home. And our response is fear for them. Our child will fail if they don't get an education exactly the way that I want them to. And so again, we're wanting to control, we're wanting to defend, we're wanting to protect, we're wanting to distrust. There's circumstances that come at us, we go into the office every day and we meet people that look at life differently. They approach their work differently. And so suddenly we start to distrust and don't let them show how I'm doing my work because they may not approve. I may not have a job tomorrow. So we keep things secret and defend ourselves against what's going on around us. Some of us may have been divorced by our spouse, and the feeling is resentment, anger, bitterness. For sure that they are to blame. I don't deserve this, but we're not going to take this risk again. We're giving up on love. Who wants to go through that more than once? And what I think many, many, many of us are feeling right now with the pandemic is, I can't go out of my house. I'm terrified to go out of my house. Or you're kind of on the other end of that spectrum where I'm not wearing a mask. Nobody can tell me wear a mask. Yeah. So how are you feeling right now with all those examples? Not so good. And the biggest problem with this is not the outer circumstances. It's how we're responding to them. We have to clear the way to make room for the divine to show us how to get through these circumstances. Not pushing, but here it is. I know you're going to love this. Accept what is. Accept what is. That is our way for letting muddy water stand. Can you change COVID-19? Are you that powerful? Can you change the grades that your child brought home? Can you change the current government or the future government except to vote? Can you change how other people live? Jesus said that your enemies will be right in your own household. That's the enemy that we are working to defeat, are the ones right in our own household. And those enemies are my thoughts, my beliefs, my feelings about what's happening. But when we look at Psalm 23, such a beautiful psalm, so many beautiful pieces to it, there's one phrase that says, you prepare a table before me in the presence of my enemies. You know what that table is? It's infinite good. It's God's love, it's God's wisdom, it's God's creativity, it's God's life, all that we need to face that battle. And the battle is really not the enemy that seems to be before us. It's the enemy within us. So just remember those omnipresence of God, the omnipotence of God, the omniscience of God. That is the table that is set before you to come sit down and eat at, instead of resist what you see before you, distrust what you see before you. Something that Imelda Shanklin wrote up here on the screen. Do we have it, Parker? Is that a yes? No? Waiting for Parker. Okay, I'll start and hopefully you'll be able to catch up. If you distrust others, your distrust is proof that you doubt the integrity of the universe. We resist omnipotence when we do not accept that with God all things are possible. Wow, that's big. I want to say that again. If you distrust others, your distrust is proof that you doubt the integrity of the universe, because you're putting your trust or distrust in others instead of in God, instead of in the Creator, the very source of all of our good. And so it's basically any form of resistance means that we're resisting God. That's another one I'm going to say again. Anytime we find ourselves resisting things in life means that we are resisting God, because we believe that that thing has a power over and above God. And we know God as the one, the omnipotence, that is our source of good. We have to make room for Spirit to work, to flow, by changing our thoughts, to give up that resistant nature. You know, it reminds me of that story, old story, about Moses with the Israelites standing next to the Red Sea. They're kind of backed up against it, and here comes Pharaoh's army, swords and spears ready to take their lives. And the way that the Israelites respond is the way that our consciousness, our human consciousness, typically responds, our ego. Why did you take me out of Egypt? I know it was crummy there, but at least we were safe. At least we had a life. I know we had no food, but at least we were alive. Why did you take me there? So we are not only going back to holding on to that which didn't serve us, but we're also blaming. It's all your fault that I'm here facing death. How did Moses reply? This is from Exodus 14. He said, don't be afraid. Just stand still and see the salvation of the Lord, which he will show you today. The Egyptians you see today will never be seen again. The Lord himself will fight for you. Just stay calm. So what did he say? Let go of your fear. Don't resist. See God. Even when the worst seems to be coming at you, we're being called to look at, to feel, to know the presence of God in and through our lives. And this is where it's an opportunity for both God then to work and us to work. Jesus said that, my Father works and I work. Today we're focusing more on the Father that's working, the Creator, the Source, the all that is. If we will surrender to that presence, it will do the work for us. Be in that flow. Surrender that fear, that anger, that resistance, so that the Spirit of God could work. We can only benefit from that power if we make way for it. And it's something that has to do with how you're feeling. You want to know whether you're in God's way? Check in with your feelings. Those feelings are almost like an energy that you can feel, almost see it tangibly coming out of you. And that energy must match the energy of Spirit. How does God feel? Peace, love, ease, grace. I have to match that. They've done scientific studies for all you medical personnel out there. You probably know about this, that 5 minutes feeling the emotion of anger will suppress your immune system for over 6 hours. Yeah. Is it really worth it? We're getting in the way of the divine intelligence of our body, revealing its natural state of well-being by holding 5 minutes of anger. God created this body to continue to renew itself, to guide every cell into its perfect activity, but we can actually get in the way of it with these thoughts and feelings of anger, fear, resistance. Psalm 127, up here on the screen. Unless the Lord builds the house, those who build it labor in vain. It's in vain that you rise up early and go late to rest, eating the bread of anxious toil. For God provides for his beloved, even in sleep. So that busyness, that anxiousness, that toiling as struggle and effort and resistance does us no good. It just interferes with that flow. Let God build the house. Make room for that power. I want to share a story that I came across recently in a book called Inner Voice by Russ Whitney. Is that right? I took his cover off. Yeah, Russ Whitney. But this is actually a story from a man named Alec. He and his family had sold their home, and they'd taken several months to find their new one. So they found the new one, they sold their home right away, and they couldn't move into their new dream home for 10 days. So they decided that they would put their furniture in storage and take a vacation while they were waiting to move into the house. And it turns out that not long after the sale closed, the seller canceled the sale and decided not to sell the house after all. And Alec just lost it. You know, this was a house that took them forever to find. His family is now homeless. He has no idea how long it's going to take them to find something else. So he started calling the guy, texting him, emailing him, no response. So he just starts taking on this idea, I think I'll sue. I'm going to take this guy to court. But Alec had also been working on some coaching with someone. Somebody had been coaching him called an inner voice coach. And it says, my inner voice coach had recently introduced me to the concept of surrender. Something that wasn't easy for a hard-charging, in-control guy like me to grasp. When I called my coach and told him what was happening, he advised me to forget about suing and to surrender the situation. Easy for him to say. It took me 2 full days to completely surrender. But when I did, the sense of freedom and peace was amazing. I took my kids to the hotel to enjoy the pool and have a swim, and while we were there, I struck up a conversation with some other guests. During the course of our small talk, we figured out that one of the men was the seller who had just backed out of the deal that had left me and my family homeless. Wow. We marveled at the incredible odds that the two of us should end up not only staying at the same hotel, but also around the pool at the same time in close enough proximity to begin talking to each other. Even as I thought, what an amazing coincidence, I remembered what I'd been taught about coincidence, that when things like this happen, they're not coincidence. They're part of a larger plan. We were obviously meant to meet, but why? I said, I can understand that you changed your mind about selling, but why wouldn't you return any of my calls or emails? My attorney told me not to. He said, I wanted to punch him. But I could hear my inner voice saying, surrender, surrender. So instead of resorting to violence, I calmly told him about the stress that he'd caused my family, how we'd sold our previous home and now had to find a new place to live. He told me that he had a friend in the same complex who owned a condo that was nicer than his, that was going to be on the market soon. We met with the real estate agent, struck a deal on his friend's condo, and the real estate agent helped us find a short-term rental in the condo complex where we could stay until we closed on the new deal. Because I surrendered, instead of fighting, I was able to buy a condo we liked better, wait for it, at a lower price. Learning to surrender has changed my life. It has become my automatic response when I'm faced with a situation over which I am powerless. Let muddy water stand. Let go, accept what is, and allow the Spirit of God to work. One last idea I want to share with you from Imelda Shanklin. First of all, non-resistance commands omnipotence. That is such a powerful three-word sentence. Our letting go actually allows God's omnipotence to work. And Gary Simmons wrote, non-resistance is the seat of wholeness and the contact point between heaven and earth, between the field of infinite possibilities and the needs of the particular situation. Another powerful idea. My non-resistance is actually making me the contact point between the circumstances that I'm dealing with and the answers that I'm looking for. Can we do that? Will you do that? Let go and allow. I'm going to invite Kim-Char to come up and join me during this time of meditation, and we'll just allow her lyrics and my words to help us let this sink in to our consciousness. Let go and allow. We'll have a beautiful picture up here on the screen for you, so let's just let go and allow. If you'd like to just close your eyes, take a deep breath, feel your body letting go. Even our bodies can get in the way of the Spirit of God's voice. Feel your shoulders relaxing. Let your breath move at its own pace.
I allow goodness to come in. I am ready to receive. I allow goodness to come in. I believe, I believe, I believe.
Another deep breath. And letting go. You may find thoughts pressing in. Busy thoughts, heavy thoughts, resisting thoughts. There is something higher here that wants to come in. So we turn our thoughts away from the outer. Imagine your mind moving down into your heart. Feeling that door open. Seeing that Christ light shining within.
I allow goodness to come in. I am ready to receive. I allow goodness to come in. I believe, I believe, I believe.
Feel your heart opening to that light. Knowing that in this presence is every answer I seek. Knowing that in this presence is the soothing peace of God. In this light is the love that seeks my good, that works for my good. Just waiting.
I allow goodness to come in. I am ready to receive. I allow goodness to come in. I believe, I believe, I believe.
We thank you, loving God, for the fullness of life, the depth of your peace, for the brilliant light of wisdom and the soft heart of love, for your infinite supply and your brilliant creativity. God and I, good and I, are one. This is the truth of our being, and now we allow it to be. Amen. This is the time in our service where we invite those who have participated today to participate again through your tithes and love offerings. It's always an opportunity to allow God to give, for God can only give through us. And if this idea that you've heard today is something that lifts you and that you want more of in your life and in the world, then I'll just invite you to join in this process of giving. One of the things that we do as we give is we bless our gifts. We set them free to flow, to expand, and we say it with these words up here on the screen. Together, divine love through me blesses and multiplies all that I have, all that I give, and all that I receive. And I am grateful. Thank you. There'll be opportunities for you to give online. There's buttons on both our Facebook page, donate button and also on our unityinnaperville.org page. And if you want to mail your gifts to us, it's to P.O. Box 9733 in Naperville, and the zip code is 60567. Let's feel the energy of this beautiful music as we give.
So blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful, I am so blessed, I am so so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful, I am so blessed, I am so grateful, I am so so grateful, I am so blessed.
I'd like to share a few things that are coming up for us here at Unity in Naperville online. As you can imagine, we have become quite inspired with a variety of ways to stay connected with you. And there's a few ideas that you'll see up here on the screen as I share. First of all, just a reminder that we don't know when we're going to reopen. Sorry. We're just kind of feeling our way here. We're in the flow, and we'll let you know when it's time to go. So in the meantime, thanks for just checking in with us every Sunday online, unityinnaperville.org, or on Facebook Live. And we also have a lot of different events on Zoom. If you miss a Sunday, you can always go back to our YouTube channel. Look for Unity in Naperville, and we have all our past services, and as well as several other videos for you to enjoy. So I hope you'll check us out. I am trying to stay connected with you in small group settings right now, and I'm asking you to please plan to join me for one of the many opportunities I've got on the calendar right now. If you go to unityinnaperville.org and check our event calendar, just look for Meet with Kitty opportunities and register in advance so that we only have like 4 or 5, 6 people. It is such a great way for me to catch up with you and hear what's going on in your lives, because I don't get to hear you like you get to hear me. And also, it's a good opportunity to meet some people that you may not know. I've had people tell me that they actually feel closer to people at Unity now that we're online than they ever did when they came into the building. I know, it's wild. So this week, it's Tuesday at 7 p.m., Thursday at 7 p.m., and Saturday at 9 a.m. Register online through Eventbrite, and then I will email you the link to join me about the day before. Also, we're still doing lunch together online every Tuesday and Thursday at noon. Kim-Char, Cindy's there to hang out with you, so bring your lunch, don't bring your lunch. But again, this way you go to unitycommunityconnect.com, click on the Lunch Together channel, and then there will be a Zoom link for that. We also have Campfire number 3 coming up. We just thought, summertime's a time for camping, and what might we be doing while we're camping? And last week we had storytelling. This week, we've got sparkling conversations as we craft together. So if you want to join us again, this is unitycommunityconnect.com. Go to the channel that says Campfire, and we'll be there this Friday at 7 o'clock. Bring your coloring book, bring your origami craft papers, make paper airplanes, bring your knitting, your crocheting, whatever you want to do together, just hang out, play, and chat with each other. That's Friday at 7. And then Saturday morning at 10 o'clock, the Courageous Writers are back. So if you're interested in practicing your writing skills, it's a really safe place to get together with other people who are doing their work. No judgments. You don't even have to speak aloud if you don't want to, but lots of creative opportunities for you to practice writing. Saturday at 10 at unitycommunityconnect.com. Click on Courageous Writers. And something new that's coming up on Monday, August 24th. So is that a week from tomorrow? A week from tomorrow at 7 o'clock, meet with Dr. Janine Burns, and she's going to talk about a psychology practice that's used that involves things that get stuck in the body. You know, sometimes when we have a negative experience in our life, it tends to make its home in our bodies. And she's going to be talking about tapping and treating those problems in the bodies. Very simple process. If you've never done it before, it's like different areas, energy centers around the body that will help to release some of that with some positive affirmations. So take a look at the website, our unityinnaperville.org. Check the event calendar for Monday, August 24th, and read what it's all about. There is a suggested love offering and a registration link for you to tap into if that sounds good to you. Tap in, get it? Da-dum-dum. All right, so real quickly, here's some other upcoming things I just want you to save the date for. Read more about it on our website. The healing service, the next healing service I'll be doing with a guest minister, will be Wednesday, August 26th at 7 p.m. We're having a new membership class, so for those of you who are not members but you're thinking about running for the board, you want to put this on your calendar for Saturday, the 29th at 9:30 a.m. Cindy Spees will be back doing some energy of spirit, more use of energy in the body, getting God moving and flowing in the body on Saturday, August 29th at 10. And we also have our World Day of Prayer service coming up on Thursday, September 10th at 7 p.m. So save those dates. Lastly, we have our prayer chaplains ready right now to pray with you. If you want prayer on the phone today and you send in an email, they will call you between 12:30 and 1. So get your prayer request in to prayer@unityinnaperville.org. Send your email that way, and the chaplains will be watching. Make sure you include your phone number, and they'll give you a call before 1 o'clock today to pray with you over the phone. I think we're good, right? We're good. Does that sound good, Cindy? We're good? Okay. So we're going to have another song, closing affirmation, and then if you want to keep hanging out, we want to talk back and forth with you through text or comments in the comment box. So if you want to send me a text right now, we'll talk to you here in a few minutes. The number's up here on the screen, 630-793-0993, or put your comments in the Facebook box, or are we on unityinnaperville.org? Is there a comment box there, Parker? Okay. There you go. So we'll be back in a minute to do that for all you diehards. But let's sing. What do we got? What's
I release.
Oh, yeah. Come on, people. Let's release.
3, 4. I release and I let go, and let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only for God. No more trouble, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only for God. Let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only for God. No more trouble, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only for God. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only for God.
Declare it.
I am free. Yes, I'm only here for God.
what they said, what you sang. I'm only here for God. Everything else I let go of, yeah? God is big enough to handle anything if we just allow ourselves to be the channel for that. So up here on the screen is our closing affirmation. One of my favorites, especially in the middle of the night when I start churning, mud starts churning. Just a simple little mantra that I say over and over again. Let's say it together. I let go. Love has this. Yeah, doesn't that feel good? Let's say it again. I let go. Love has this. Love, God, put in whatever word you want. All right. Blessings to you all. Hope to see you again. Oh, please sign up for one of my small group meetings. I don't want to be there all by myself. I've been having a really good time with people, so check it out, unityinnaperville.org's calendar. Tuesday at 7 is the first one. Okay, who wants to send us a text or comment? Let me take a look on my phone here and see what's happening.
In the meantime, I'll give a shout out to, I see some people here on our stream. Hi, Lynn. Hi, Donna Jean. Hi, Heather Schmidt. Hi, Kelly Meinhardt, Virginia Collins. We're so glad you guys are here. You know, Cindy Spees writes, what an empowering message. Thank you, Reverend Kitty Highest Good and our sound team for helping to create peace in our hearts and minds. Big hugs. Mahalo, mahalo,
Thank
Cindy.
you. Thank you. Okay, I got nothing. 630-793-0993. Wait, I keep getting it, but I'm not seeing it.
It's going to show up somewhere. I'm going to say hi to Nancy. Nancy, I hope I pronounce this right. Is it Goosh? Gaush? Gaush. Nancy Gaush, welcome. She goes, thank you for your wonderful message and music today.
Nancy, sending you blessings in your new home. She recently moved to the East Coast, so we're sending you love all the way on the East Coast, and thanks for hanging in there with us.
Yes.
Okay, I found some things that are coming. Oh, look at them all. Okay, awesome soul food from y'all today. So grateful for my Unitic family. FYI, there are 3 forms Dr. Janine will use, and they'll be available for download. That's from Mary Beth. So go to the website, unityinnaperville.org, and take a look.
Okay.
Betty-
They'll be on the website, the forms themselves?
Evidently,
Okay.
unless she's talking about, but start at the website, it'll guide you.
Good place to start.
Yeah.
Rhonda Pignato writes, this surrender and admitting powerlessness you speak of is the cornerstone to all 12-step recovery. And then
Amen.
advancing on your spiritual journey. Namaste, Rhonda.
Yeah, I was
Yes.
thinking a lot about that this week, Rhonda. Thanks for sharing that. That is so true. Betty Topping says, beautiful service, thank you. Kitty, what's the name of the book and the author from which you read today regarding surrender? And that is, the book's name is Inner Voice, Russ Whitney. Inner Voice, Russ Whitney. Another good one that I bought from my escapades at Unity Village Bookstore.
Escapade. Cindy Freeman writes, whoa, I needed to hear that piece again about 5 minutes of anger and how long it affects us. Was it 6 months?
6 hours. Thank God.
Sometimes it feels like 6 months,
Yeah,
right?
6 hours. If I said 6 months, sorry, but it's 6 hours.
And I try to think when bad things happen, something good will eventually happen. It's not, let me see. Sorry, I just lost it. It's not easy to remember that when the anger is the easy first response. The more I hear unity messages, the easier it gets. Thank you for one more reminder today, Reverend Kitty.
You are
Cindy
welcome.
writes,
Thanks
"Thank
for
you,
being
Cindy."
willing to listen and hang in there. This is a good one. This is so fun. I wish you could actually see the spelling of all these words. Loved lustwaning, I think that means listening, to your message today, and highest goid, while walking with my headphones I'm just under 5,000 steps. So now and she's got an emoji of hot, sweaty, love Melinda. But I had to laugh at the spelling because I'm sure she's trying to do that while she's walking. Good one. Thanks for joining us, Melinda.
I think Gordon is referring back to the story here when he writes, I wouldn't have punched the seller, but I would have thrown him in the pool. Ah!
Gordy. Have I taught you nothing?
Gordon.
We'll talk later. Okay, here's somebody. Oops. Available through, Mary Beth. We're back to Mary Beth and how to get the handouts. She says it's Unity Community Connect.
That's it.
After you sign up. I don't know. Try them both. Sorry about
So
that.
there must be a tap and treat channel, is there not, Parker? Okay,
Okay, there's a
that's
channel.
it.
All right.
Go to unitycommunityconnect.com and then go to the tap and
Okay.
treat.
Somewhere in there, they're going to ask you to register, and when you do, then you can get your handouts. Okay, anybody else want to text?
I'm going to say shout out again to Larita, who's here. Deborah Weiris O'Neill's here. Hi, Deb.
Hey, Deb.
Hi. Katie Moore. Katie, are you in Florida? I believe it's Florida. Hi.
Katie. Hi, Katie.
Aloha. Let's see. Kelly Meinhardt. Karen, of course. Great.
630-793-0993. Text me now or put your comments in the box. I'm trying to actually get to the box to see what the box looks like.
Shout out to Bobby Runyons, too.
Hey, Bobby.
Hey, Bobby. Good to
Hey,
have you this morning.
Joy. Glad
Mary
to see
Went,
ya.
Sue Rio's here. Mary Alward is here. Artie is here, of course. Hi, guys. Linda, Kim Hope, Melinda. There you go.
Hey, Eva.
Who's we got here? Scrolling.
Excellent.
Oh, Melinda adds that there will be a campfire coloring page on the Campfire channel.
Oh, good.
So if you're wondering, what am I going to color during Campfire? They have a page that you can download and print.
Okay, that's for this Friday. So,
Yes.
So check it out before Friday. Do you need to plug the talent show?
That's a good question. Beth Schwartz was mentioning, not this Friday, but next Friday, we'll be having the Campfire Talent Show. Do you remember that, going to camp and having
Yes.
the last night, the talent
Yes.
show? So everyone, be thinking about it now, what you're going to do. You can show us your coloring if you happen to
Yes.
download the
There you
page.
go.
It could be...
Sing
do
us a
you-
little song.
Sing a little magic tricks. How about
Magic
magic
tricks,
tricks?
yeah.
If your dog can do a trick, that's fine too.
Maybe if you're an interior designer, like take us on a little tour of your house. Or maybe if you're a seamstress or you like to design outfits, put one on and show us what it looks
Yeah,
like.
that's
Maybe if you're
awesome.
a chef and you like to make something good, give us a quick overview of a fabulous recipe that
Actually, you
just
can
made.
come over to my house with that.
Okay,
Then,
all right.
yeah, we can show it there.
Good job.
So, but plan on that. So that's not this Friday, but the Friday after, the talent show. Be thinking about it. I know you've got an interpretive dance in you. I know you do. So, here we go.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Suzanne's just loving on us all, just so you know.
Hi, Suzanne.
You're loved. You're deeply loved.
Yeah, I saw that a couple. Go, Mark. Go, Kevin. It's like the
Yeah.
got cheerleaders out there, I say. Was that a
Anything else? Anything else you got to say, people?
thing?
Okay. So guess what? We're not done yet. If you want to see us face to face, if you want to hang out with each other, pretend like we're going into the front room, which was actually the unitycommunityconnect.com site. And this time you want the channel that says live stream chat. So meet us over there, and we'll have a little chat before we go today.
That'd
Love
be
you
fun.
guys.
Love you.
Don't forget to sign up for one of my mini chats. Would love to catch up with you. Look at the website calendar. See you soon.